What's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. So today we're going to talk growth stocks, and I just want to introduce you guys to the acronym FAANG if you're not familiar with it already, and then explain how that will change, or how I believe it will change in the next 5 to 10 to 15 years. Cool. So what is FAANG? FAANG is an acronym that stands for Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, Google, and for me personally, and for this YouTube page, we'll be adding Disney to FAANG'D, and I will call it FAANG'D. So that's my own personal theory. I'll get into that more later, but just so you guys know, FAANG, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, Google, these are touted as the highest growth stocks in the U.S. stock market today. And for most analysts, they actually still see these stocks as the catalyst for growth in the stock market and the American economy. So FAANG'd, basically, to explain what I mean by a growth stock or growth company, if you look at this graph, it's a graph that kind of depicts exponential growth. And if you look at if you look at Facebook, or you look at Amazon or Apple, as the population on a global scale increases, and it's increasing at an exponential rate, the number of these users on these platforms are going to continue to increase exponentially as well. If you think about it, for Facebook, every time someone is born, that is potentially a new person that could be on Facebook. Again, like I explained earlier, my little cousins, they use Facebook, and they're 5 and 6 years old, and they send me messages on there all the time. It's real cool. But point being, anyone from 5, maybe even earlier 4, to someone who's 70 or 80 is a potential user on Facebook. And so when you look at the advertising that's going to flow through once that happens, for both Facebook, Apple, and Google, with YouTube, because Google owns YouTube, you'll see how this growth in the long run is probably not going to slow down anytime soon, barring any catastrophic event. And so then I'm going to explain this more in a separate video, but basically why I believe Disney will enter into the FAANG stocks is because their use of Disney Plus and ESPN Plus. These are 2 streaming services that are set. Well, ESPN has already launched, but Disney Plus will launch at the end of 2019. And if you look at the numbers and compare the Netflix user base to the amount of people that just go to Disney parks every year, and all the intellectual property they have, and all the intellectual property that Netflix used when they were first starting to get such a high growth increase that they did with their service. So when you start to look at these 2 things, Disney has to be back in this picture as a growth stock moving forward. Again, as always, you should not buy or sell stock based solely off what you hear. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only, and it's always Godspeed.